What's good YouTube, and welcome to the house. I learned some shocking news about Toon Chaos today that's at least new to me, and I want to break it down for you guys as well. This set structure is super unique, with 35 rares being the lowest rarity, 15 super rares, and 10 ultras. Oh, thank you, Konami, so much. You gave us back rares after taking them in Eternity Code. You're so generous. Now, the shocking news is that it seems like on average you're going to pull 3 ultra rares per box, and this is from a somewhat bigger pool. So actually seeing 3 ultras per box, at first I was like, that's not a very big number, that's really low, wow, that's terrible. But then you actually start to crunch some numbers, and there's only 10 ultra rares in this set, and to pull 3 of each, a playset of each in a case, well, you're gonna surpass that before you get to short printing and actually have 2 more playsets total. So it's not like the worst thing in the world in terms of what vendors should have planned for, but maybe they're like, yeah, it's gonna be like duelist packs 5 to 6. Well, no, there's not like this influx of packs or anything, and it is a unique structure at 7 cards per pack, but you're gonna be beating the odds overall to be able to get everything. That's still a lot of money though for one personal player to try to get everything from this set. You know, at $60 a box, if you can even manage that for this set, that's $720 MSRP to be chasing that dream. Now, Toon Chaos was very shorted on the distro level. A ton of people did not get their orders fulfilled. There was huge demand for it, and oh, sorry, we just didn't get it in. You'll have to get it next time. Or, yeah, we got about 20% of your order. Both in the USA and EU, this was happening. Now, also, my math went over a lot of people's head yesterday, so I have my handy-dandy calculator here to help out a bit. There are a total of 15 different collector's rares. So to get an individual one at an average of 3 collector rares per case, which I am hearing that is pretty much correct, some cases will have 4, some will have 5, but the average is 3 per case overall. Just like how some cases will have more starlights or no starlights, you can definitely have just a terrible case depending on what happens. Well, with collector's rare, it's averaging 3 per case, and with 15 different ones, what's that gonna take? 3 per case? It's gonna take 5 total cases to see all of those. So what's the number in Eternity Code with 5 different starlights to see those individual starlight rares? If you want Effect Veiler, that's an average of 10 cases opened to see Effect Veiler, because starlights are 1 in every 2 case. If you want to see Blackluster Soldier, the collector rare, or Stardust Dragon, the collector rare, there are 15 different collector rares, and in an average of 3 per case, that means 5 cases need to be opened. It is twice as hard to get a starlight as a collector's rare, but that is a very high bar in terms of short printing and chasing after a card. To put it into perspective, 5 cases to just to try to track down one collector rare, and let's call it $60 a box. Well, 60 a box, that's 12 boxes, and then that's 5 total cases. That's how much money goes in at $60 a box to chase this down. And there aren't $60 boxes of this right now. Now, not everybody has in their Toon Chaos. In fact, it hasn't really even hit shelves yet, and it's still the pre-sale price game. But that's why you're seeing prices skyrocket today. People are learning that news of 3 ultra rares. Vendors are pulling back their pre-sales and their allocation of, oh wow, I did not have enough of this to do this, or I thought there would be more ultra rares, and they're definitely pulling on back from the pre-sale game. Immortal Phoenix, you know, collector rare, 1 listing, 3 on BLS. People really want to make money, but when we come down to these, we saw, you know, multiple double-digit listings last time, and there's still a couple here, but now it's a lot more 8s and 5s, you know, stuff like that when it comes to the top cards, and people are a lot more cautious. And over here, you know, those $40 pot of extravagances are gone. Now it's 50 towards 60, but it is still the pre-sale game. I would calm down a little, make your decisions with this news, and decide what will go up from here with this set being shorter at the distro level, and what cards do I see going up versus these prices. You're still going to see more quantities hit shelves. You're going to see some competition happen, but this set is a very weird one. Now, I have a different conversation on Collector's Rare, and I want to see where you guys are. What is higher rarity? Collector's Rare or ultimate rare out of an OTS pack. A ton of people value ultimate rare, but collector's rare will be truly more scarce overall. And with that, you might see higher prices at first here, and Pot of Desires, hailed as one of the best investments you can make in Yu-Gi-Oh! For its ultimate rare, now has a competitor in terms of what people can argue for. It will take a lot of the community getting these in hands and seeing them to make their own opinion here, but when it comes down to it, ultimate duality's up in price, it's been shooting up, Desires is so safe, all of a sudden there's a comparable. And why I speak to the safety is an old friend. Dark Arm Dragon First edition has actually been falling over time. It was towards 125, 130, while the ultimate rare used to be 110. And I was like, yeah, look at this. This old OG, it's holding in versus the ultimate rares. Now, you can get him 109, 110, 110. He is sitting here down in price with multiple people at this level before he's back up to where he was, even during this crazy market. And what happened to the ultimate rare during the crazy market? He shot up to like 280 a while ago and hasn't had a true fallout. It's around 240 by one seller with 3, and then you have a Spanish copy at 240, and then it's back up towards 280. There's not really a ton of these just going back on market. But speaking to other comparables in history, dual terminal ultra rares kind of defy gravity versus all other dual terminal buyouts. Like when you have the commons or the supers, they tend not to hang out that much unless they're a Dragoonity card or something. But Trishula is really out here, $200 at the lowest listing before it's $400. That's pretty crazy, especially versus its market price, but it's been chilling for some time. The ultimate rare is up towards 90. I remember when you could get these for 30, and I was like, that's pretty good. Then it was at 55 after it got some hype, and now here we are, it's actually towards its market price. The ultimate rare isn't the winner, the dual terminal is still versus Yu-Gi-Oh! History. Scarcity, and a lot of people will agree on this being the highest rarity from Nostalgia, go towards this. But what would you call the higher rarity for Dark Arm? Is it the first Ed Secret out of the pack? Or is it the ulti? Ulti's winning in price. There's this back and forth, and people are going to make preferences, but also scarcity will speak towards pricing. It's going to be very interesting to look at collector's rares, and they are very, very hard to get the specific ones you want. There will be the trash ones that will sell. Vendors may play the stocks with those, but for ones like Black Luster Soldier, Stardust Dragon that looks so nice but has a comparable to Ghost, you're going to see people chase after those cards, and it's going to be a show. Now, into Market Watch. I know it was a lot of Toon Chaos and then rarity talk. I usually don't go into the collector's market as much these days. It's kind of a repetitive show, but I really liked that discussion. Infinite Impermanence is up in price, and I didn't know the reason at first till somebody in stream pointed out the obvious. Alter guys got Multi-Faker to 3, and this is a card they love. Also, Salmon Great's one of the budget decks, as it were. Well, yeah, this makes it a little less budget, but they tend to like this card as well. $33 on both ultra rares, running out of quantities on both, and the secret, boy, is that fun to watch on the first edition price. Somebody in my streams pointed out, Necros of Trishula had a bit of a buyout towards $40, along with the other stuff. I thought he was still towards $20. And Brionic is really up there for both the Ultra towards 9. It was towards 12 before. And then the secret rares towards 70. Valkyrus is chilling towards 30, but I don't think people, like, obviously they're preparing for Dragma. They're probably not going to play Valk in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's just not shooting back up. He used to be the one that was at 50 to 55 forever and just sunk over time thanks to having a reprint. So, kind of weird to watch the show unfold versus Yu-Gi-Oh! History with Dragma on the horizon, and of course Necros of Unicorn hyping this deck up a bit. Ghost Ogre Ultimate Rares are up, and somebody asked me, John, why is this up? It had, it replaced OTS Pack 9 for a while. There were extra copies. Ghost Ogre is a very loved card and an amazing looking Ultimate Rare, so I'm not all too surprised to see this go up over time, even though it's not necessarily its metagame. It's a very good tech depending on the format, and maybe you'll see it filter in depending on what's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh! Called by the Grave, every time it falls out this way, I need to point it out. Look at how every single copy is above $5 again, the Ultra Rare towards $7.40, and the Prismatic Secret Rare lining up only a couple bucks above. This was up towards $12 recently, fallen back down a bit, doesn't have the most listings, get your copies sooner than later when it comes to this card, because I do see it reclaiming its price one day of 15 towards 18, especially when physical events are back. The WCQ season, people want to max rarity this deck. This is it. And it's pretty darn nice looking in person versus all of the alternatives. And also, let's talk about that fallout in price from Dual Devastator, how it's been rising up, because there's value displacement from Super Poly getting reprinted over in the Shadow Structure deck. So you see Dual Devastator starting to push up more, you see Ash Blossom pushing up more. As that Super Poly falls, it was bound to give value elsewhere in the set without reprints happening to Called by the Grave. And the final card here is Chaos Dragon Leve in there. The Ultra has been steady rising. I'm seeing more people teching in combos, use Melody to search it. It is a freaking good card, and it slowly feels like it's going up on almost every front. And OTS Pack 12's in a weird place, so I kind of wanted to segue into that as well. OTS Pack 12 is where we left off with the Crush card stopping in real life tournaments, so some places are still going to have that in, and now they're getting OTS Pack 13 in, and people are going to want OTS Pack 13, and 12 is no slouch. People are going to want 12 as well. I think this won't sit on shelves as long as a lot of people in the conversations with me think. They're like, yeah, OTS Pack 13 is going to be here, it's going to push to the back, then people are going to go for 14 whenever. They're going to want what's new. I don't necessarily think so. I think OTS Pack 12 has some very heavy hitters in terms of what it has to offer, and when people are offered a choice, some people are still going to go out after this, and I think this will be off shelves over time. In fact, talking about sealed investments, this would be one of the OTS packs I think I would sit on sealed for a while. Although Leve and Nier will pop in and out of formats, I think it's almost always going to be useful with how searchable it is and what a great card it is. Then Twin Twisters, piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History, still ends up in side decks, and Solemn Judgment, the old man saying no. I think this is great, and yeah, just like I would with Toon Chaos, keep it sealed, sit on it for a while. I don't think in any way, shape, or form these are going to go down just because of the more active events. Very few will be pulled, and I don't think people are going to get the shakes and want to get rid of their OTS Pack 12 down the road like that. Anyways, thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Do remember that it's not called the Nibiru token, but a Primal Being token whenever you're hunting this one down, which is funny, and how it keeps falling off of people's radar. Oh, John, I can't find the Nibiru token. It's Primal Being token. I know that's so inconvenient for people not to just type Nibiru. Please use my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. It helps so much during these crushing ad revenue times, and I really do appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot, and I wish I could offer back more besides random giveaways. I wish I could offer bonus bucks packs or stuff like that, but I really do appreciate you guys using that. It means a lot.